So for today's vocabulary, this topic is about AI and the debate between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. And I think it's kind of important that these two big tech giants are bringing this up for debate so that it's out in the open. Because it's kind of ridiculous to talk about. Like, how do you just like talk to your friends and be like, hey, are you scared of AI? It doesn't really happen, right? So let's start with number one, to lobby insults. Actually, this is spelled incorrectly. It should be, I think it should be lobbying. I'm going to double check on that. I think it should be lobbying insults, but I'll double check. So it says lobbying insults, maybe it's lobbying insults, which is basically throwing insults or insulting people. Or actually not insulting people, but you're going back and forth with insults. The next one is plea, which is basically to plead or to make a request. Especially when someone has some kind of power or they have something you need, you plead with them. If you've ever heard of like a plea bargain from like crime dramas, crime TV shows, where somebody will confess to a crime, but they make a plea bargain, meaning that they ask for a light sentence. Number three, a burn. You guys ever heard of this as like slang? So if somebody says something insulting to somebody else, then usually the reaction is like the other people that are witnessing it will go, oh, burn, as in like you just burned them, you just put them on fire. And then there's another expression for a burn where people will say, oh, would you like some water to put on that burn? Meaning that somebody had really insulted you really bad. So if Aylin comes in here and says something bad about my hair and then everybody's laughing, you guys can be like, oh, burn, and then like, you know, Hazel will be like, oh, do you want some water for that burn? And then I would cry. Number four, rant, is basically when you go off on a very long and emotional and very, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe disruptive or angry or negative speech, and you keep going on and on and on. Or it can be in writing too. I'm sure nowadays most of you guys see news titles, news headlines about Donald Trump going on a Twitter rant. He's just one Twitter message about the same thing. And he's just complaining. So it's a Twitter rant. Number five, hysteria. Is basically when people are incredibly excited or emotional, and sometimes it means like people are panicking or just way too excited. Sometimes we have the term mass hysteria, which means there's like a large group of people and everybody's just going crazy. Mass hysteria can be like if a celebrity walks into a middle school, then all of the students would just go crazy and there would be mass hysteria. But mass hysteria can also be, if everybody panics because of something. So if there's a news report that says, oh, there's poison in all the food that you eat, don't trust any food, that would cause mass hysteria. Everybody would panic and go crazy. Number six, subjugate. Subjugate. This sounds a little bit hard, I guess, to say. Subjugate. Yeah. When you subjugate somebody, that means you kind of push them in a way, or you force them, or you intimidate them. Or you can be subjugated too. My boss subjugated me to drink too much at the company dinner. Or the teacher subjugated the students to do a lot of homework, something like that. You can even say it about like a group of people or a nation. So, you know, what's a good country to choose? Well, I guess we could say Korea. Korea has been subjugated to a lot of threats from North Korea, for example, like that. Number 7. I think this is wrong. I think maybe it's spelled wrong. Dystopia. Yeah, I think there should be an O between the S and T. I'm gonna look that up. Dystopia. No, I'm wrong. Dystopian. Okay, dystopia is basically it's when you have like a kind of you know, whenever you see like a movie about like a society that follows just one great leader or something, and everybody has to follow that one great leader, that is what we call like a dystopian society. And basically, you always see it, especially in like science fiction movies or books, and you know, there's this kind of they might call it like the dystopian future, where everybody follows one great leader or something. Sounds kind of scary, right? Okay, and that's our vocabulary for today.